first steps.
Hi, I'm Teacher Queen.
Are you familiar with the different artworks from Renaissance and Baroque period? Let us answer the pre-assessment. Identify the title of artworks from Renaissance and Baroque period. A. David. B. Conversion of St. Paul. C. Napoleon crossing the Alps. D. Pieta. A. David. B. Conversion of St. Paul. C. Napoleon crossing the Alps. D. Pieta. A. David. B. Conversion of St. Paul. C. Napoleon crossing the Alps. D. Pieta. Famous Renaissance artworks and artists. Renaissance period. Renaissance period was the economic progress. The period stirred enthusiasm for the study of ancient philosophy and aesthetic values. Italian Renaissance began in the late 14th century. It was an era of great artistic and intellectual achievement, with the birth of secular art. The focus was on realistic and humanistic art. Renaissance art was characterized by accurate anatomy, scientific perspective, and deeper landscape. Renaissance painters depicted real-life figures, and their sculptures for naturalistic and humanistic art. Michelangelo was an Italian sculptor, painter, architect, and poet. He was considered the greatest living artist in his lifetime, and ever since then he was considered as one of the greatest artists of all time. A number of his works and paintings, sculpture, and architecture rank among the famous in existence. Among his outstanding works as sculptor were the following. The Pieta, Italian, Pieta English. The Piety, 1498–1499, is a work of Renaissance sculpture by Michelangelo Buonarroti, housed in St. Peter's Basilica, Vatican City. It is also the only known sculpture created by a prominent name from the Renaissance era that was installed in St. Bacchus is a marble sculpture by the Italian High Renaissance sculptor, painter, architect and poet Michelangelo. The statue is somewhat over life-size and depicts Bacchus, the Roman god of wine, in a reeling pose suggestive of drunkenness. Leonardo da Vinci was a painter, architect, scientist, and mathematician. He was popularized in present times through the novel and movie Da Vinci Code. His intellect, interest, talent, and his expression of humanism in classical values. He is widely considered to be one of the greatest painters of all time, and perhaps the most diverse, talented person to have ever lived. The Last Supper is a late 15th century mural painting by Italian artist Leonardo da Vinci. Housed by the refectory of the convent of Santa Maria del Grazie in Milan, Italy. It is one of the Western world's most recognizable paintings. The Mona Lisa is a half-length portrait painting by Italian artist Leonardo da Vinci. Considered an archetypal masterpiece of the Italian Renaissance, it has been described as the best known, the most visited, the most written about, the most sung about, the most parodied work of art in the world. Raphael was an Italian painter and architect of the High Renaissance period. His work was admired for its gratitude of form and ease of composition, and for its visual achievement of determining the divine and incorporating Christian doctrines. Together with Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, he performed additional trinity of great masters of the period. His main contributions to art were used for his unique in the draftsmanship and compositional skills. The Transfiguration is the last painting, by the Italian High Renaissance master Raphael. Commissioned by Cardinal Giulio de' Medici, the later Pope Clement VII, and conceived as an altarpiece for the Narbonne Cathedral in France, Raphael worked on it until his death in 1520. Donatello was one of the Italian great artists of the period. He was an early Renaissance Italian sculptor from Florence. He is known for his work in bas-relief, a form of shallow relief sculpture. Renaissance art is the art of calm and beauty. Its creations are perfect, they reveal nothing forced or inhibited, uneasy or agitated. David is the title of two statues of the biblical hero David, by the Italian early Renaissance sculptor Donatello. They consist of an early work in marble of a clothed figure, and a far more famous bronze figure, that is nude except for helmet and boots, and dates to the 1440s or later. Identify the artist of the following pictures from Renaissance period. 1. The Last Supper. A. Donatello. B. Da Vinci. C. Raphael. D. Michelangelo.
Girl, it's gonna be a ride or die, baby. Say good vibes only, everywhere I go. Let's kick it, girl, you might
2. David. A. Donatello. B. Da Vinci. C. Raphael. D. Michelangelo. 3. The School of Athens. A. Donatello. B. Da Vinci. C. Raphael. D. Michelangelo.
4.
Feast of Paris. A. Donatello. B. Michelangelo. C. Da Vinci. D. Raphael.
5.
Mona Lisa. A. Donatello. B. Michelangelo. C. Da Vinci. D. Raphael.